Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you doing? Please post this as anonymous. As I am speaking with you, sometimes I get so scared about what will happen if my girlfriend will find out that this is what I did to her kids. Even my hands are shaky as I am sending you this voice note. I am a 37-year-old man. I came from Zim and I came to Pretoria first, where I started working, where I ended up meeting my girlfriend, and then me and her, we migrated to another province. This is my own story, how I have lied to my girlfriend, the rituals that I have done behind my South African girlfriend, whom I'll call Lerato. I never meant to use her children for rituals, never ever thought about it in my life. I was a Christian, a church-going person, never touched alcohol in my life, and people used to wonder how was it even possible that me as a Christian man was dating a woman who would regularly drink. But I was trying to also bring her to Christ, because when I met her, she would go out clubbing with her friends, but then I told her that she can still drink at home, and even her friends thought that it was boring at first, but in time, when we moved to the province where we are right now, they were already used to the fact that her boyfriend does not like it, so they would come and I would do a braai for them and drink, and life continued as normal. But she loved me, but sometimes she was not loyal, especially when we did not have money. Now we have money. She is more than loyal, but she does not know where the money came from. This is my own story. And 2 years ago, I started staying with this girlfriend of mine, and I broke up with my wife. Like, me and my wife, we had been fighting like quite a lot. I don't want to lie to you. And this pushed me into the hands of my South African girlfriend. And after I had dumped my wife, that was when I discovered that my South African girlfriend was cheating on me. My heart snapped the day when I found out that she was cheating on me. So she apologized to me, and she had 3 kids, and I felt so sorry for her, even though I wanted to dump her. And as for her family welcomed me as if they were my own family. I was working and she was also working, and life was continuing as if it was normal. But there were days when she started becoming distracted, always on her phone. Whenever she would receive a call, she will go outside. And what pained me the most was when we started dating, she had promised me that she was going to give me a child. But there were those that told me that it was highly impossible, with the way that I was still broke, even though we managed a good life, but I was considered broke by another South African girlfriend who was giving me advice, who said that she will never give you a child because you are not rich. We South African women will only give child to foreign guys that can give us financial stability, and you are not financially stable, and I am giving you this advice as your girlfriend. So me and her, we just used to have casual sex because she was one of my workmates. So she was keeping her options open just in case if she was going to have another boyfriend. And I thought that indeed, if I was going to impregnate her, it was going to strengthen our love. She will love me even more. I did not know that I was making myself like a fool. Then that was when I started to join WhatsApp groups. I then found that there was this other man who was staying in Midrand. He is a sangoma, a very expensive one. I literally had to give him almost half of my salary in order for him to give me what he called African fertility cure. This type of a charm, if you drink it as a man, you can impregnate, according to him, 100 women in a single night. He said that this herb will open any womb. When you sleep with a woman without using protection, a womb will open up and she will fall pregnant for you. It does not matter if she has an implant, if she drinks family pills, or if she goes to get that injection. Her womb will be forced to open by the herb that will make my manhood to be so powerful. So after I had been given that charm, this man, what he did not tell me was that this charm, I was not supposed to sleep with another woman as long as I was using that charm until my girlfriend had fallen pregnant. If only he had told me, then I would have kept myself from sleeping with my co-worker. So this girlfriend that I had at work, there was one day when she told me that she had a big fight with her husband the previous night. And when she came to work, I then went to the kitchen as she was preparing some coffee, and I was saying, you know what, babe, do not even worry. I am here with you. I am going to comfort you. We had had sex too many times at work, so we used to do it in the bathroom or in the kitchen if it was not too busy, because at work we had this other kitchen where you could just go and make a cup of coffee, and that is where we used to sleep together when we knew that we had the time to do it, or rather in my office if we saw that it was not that busy. So we started touching, and then she dragged me to her office, and she was like, I am so filled with anxiety right now and depression. Maybe if you make love to me, I will feel a little bit better. So she dragged me to her office, and we locked the office, and we started making love in her office. And after that, that was when I was like, oh my God, I have messed up. I have messed up big time, because I was thinking about what I had been told by that sangoma from Midrand. I was only supposed to sleep with Lerato only when I will be using those charms. So after I had done that, I started to experience a lot of terrible nightmares. A creature would come to my room trying to grab me from my bed. I would wake up screaming. Even Lerato, sometimes she will get so scared with the way that I will be screaming late at night. I then returned back to that traditional healer, and I told him, and he said that the spirits are angry with you. The spirits are angry with you. They tried to help you, but you ended up sleeping with another woman. You are unclean. Can't you see that you are not clean? You did not show respect to the spirits. You did not show respect to Lerato. Why did you sleep with another woman? Well, let me give you a solution. So this man then gave me a flower. This flower, it was wrapped inside a brown paper bag, and he said, Chief, you take this and you buy a flower pot, and then you just buy some compost, you take some soil, and make sure that this flower is well watered each and every day. This flower is not supposed to die, Chief, and you should stay away from women, otherwise you are going to cry. I then took that flower, and when I was in town, I stopped at this other place, and then I bought a flower pot, including the compost. They mixed everything well for me. Even the white woman helped me to transplant that flower into that flower pot, and she even watered it for me. But I had bought a 2 liters of spring water, and each and every evening after my shift, because I work as an electrical engineer for a very big company, I would rush to Checkers, buy a 2 liter of spring water. I was not supposed to buy this water in bulk. I had to buy it each and every day. Then when I would get to the place where we were staying, I would water that flower each and every day. So she even asked me about that flower that I was keeping in the bathroom, as I had been told. I just said that it was something nice that I just wanted to do, and I told her not to touch it, for it was mine. But the devil is very clever. The devil knew that blood was going to be needed, and he made me to do a mistake. At that time, I was making sure that I do not sleep with any other woman at all, but being faithful to Lerato only. One Thursday afternoon, I knocked off early and I just wanted to go out with my other friends. So then, whilst I was on my way, I was going to Orlando West. That was when I met with Amapanyaza, and they even waited for me to get out of my vehicle. Maybe it was because I was driving my car that have a Zim reg, so they knew that I was a foreign national. So they waited for me. When I had gotten out of the vehicle, that was when one of the Amapanyaza, those green security, stopped me, and one came and was like, "Say ID please." I then looked for it and I took out my license and I gave them my license, and it was like, "No, I mean ID or passport." I had left everything charging at home. I did not have anything. And as for me, I am unlike some of my people because I came here with proper papers and I have a proper job. So I never saw the need for me to learn local language. And when I spoke with them in English, that was when they were like, "Where is your passport, Sam?" And I told them that I had left everything at home, and they did not even want to negotiate with me. They then cuffed me and they slammed me in the back of their bakkie. They drove with me to Highlands police station and they made me to sit in a holding cell. I was not afraid at all because I knew that all of my proper papers, they were in proper order. And then my friend arrived about 2 hours later with the passport, and they made me to pay a 500 fine. I really do not know what it was for. I stumbled home at midnight, and I was told that midnight was not supposed to get past before I could water that flower. When I entered into my room, I was too exhausted to think about it. Early in the morning, when I got to the bathroom, I wanted to pee. That was when I saw the flower pot lay cracked on the floor. And then I called to Lerato and I said, "Are you the one who broke my flower pot, Lerato?" And she was like, No, I did not do that. And she also came, and honestly, when I looked at her, she was innocent. She did not do such a thing. I then picked it up and I put it in a plastic bag, and I drove first to Midrand before returning back to work. And he was like, "Hey, you have broken another rule. Why do you keep on doing this?" He used to call me Shangarai. And this guy, he told me that I was supposed to get a chicken and I was supposed to sacrifice it. So I bought a chicken, and after I had given him the money, he then gave me one of the chickens because he said that he did not want those white chickens. He wanted the normal African chickens. Those were the ones that we were supposed to use for the ritual. So the blood was denied because we poured the blood to the ground, but instead of the blood sinking into the earth, no, it did not sink into the earth. And he said that it means that the spirits are not accepting your sacrifice. They want blood. And I said, "But this is blood." That was when he said the spirits are angry. They want human blood. My heart pounded. I tried to offer him 5K, but he said, "No, they want human blood. They do not want this money that you want to give to them." That was when he told me to write the names of my sons. And I wanted to write the names of my son, but I was shaking. He was saying, "Why are you shaking? Are you nervous?" And I said, "Yes, I am nervous." And he was like, "Let me see what the spirits are saying." And then when he had consulted with his ancestors, that was when I was told that instead of sacrificing my own son, we could actually give the life of my girlfriend's daughter. I was told that it was a once-off sacrifice, and still he wanted that 5K now. So instead of writing my son's name, I wrote my girlfriend's daughter's name, and then he said the son as well, just as a guarantee. I then returned back home with high hopes, and I was told to keep this flower in a place where Lerato was not supposed to see it for a month. So I was keeping it in the boot of my car and always making sure that the keys to my car, I always had them at all the times. And I continued watering the flower using the spring water. To this very day, I still have this flower. So about a week, that was when she called me and she was screaming. I said, what is wrong? What is wrong? And she told me that we were supposed to go to Pretoria. She did not have any strength at all. I went and I collected her at her place. She had fainted several times. She was even unable to tell me. Her boss told me that her daughter had committed suicide, just like that. The little girl committed suicide, and I knew that she had committed suicide because her blood was needed for the ritual. She passed away. We moved on. On her birthday, trying to make her feel better, I bought a haval for her. We moved out of Gauteng, and then we started staying in another province because I just wanted to forget about everything. I have tried to make her feel better. Regularly, I give her 30K per month so that she can just use it because I do not want her to remember what happened to her daughter. I bought an Haval SUV on her birthday, a 4K TV, big one, a beautiful fridge, and I am always telling her that I love her and I just want to spoil her. But the problem is that I have been told now that one of her child again is supposed to commit suicide. I don't know if she is going to be able to survive if it happens again. I have tried to negotiate with this sangoma, but it seems as if it is not working. This flower is the one that has been giving us money. Before, I could not afford to give her 30K, but now when I give her 30K, it is like I am giving her 3K because I have been making money. I have started my own construction company and we focus on tubing in the houses. Like any electrical problems, we do that, electrical installations, and I've been getting a lot of clients, and not just small clients, like big companies where malls are being built and repairs at the malls, and you can just imagine how much I am making. But it is all because of this flower. So this flower, it has started losing its leaves. As I am speaking with you, there are only 8 leaves that are left on this flower, and it used to have 20. All the leaves have dried except for the 8. I spoke with the sangoma. He told me to return back to Midrand so that we can perform another ritual and then she can lose another child again. I really do not know what else to do. It's like I am standing at a crossroad. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brothers. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.